This video will cover the use of Armed Blackhawk version 7 following the release of version 2 of the UH-60L mod. You'll now see that when we add a helicopter in the mission editor, we have two options, the UH-60L and the UH-60L DAP. The DAP version included with the base mod incorporates a number of features you may be familiar with from Armed Blackhawk. We'll now cover the differences between the base mod and what Armed Blackhawk version 7 brings to it. As with prior versions of Armed Blackhawk, weapons can be added to the right outboard, right inboard, left inboard, or left outboard pylons. Door gunners are also available, and with the version 2 UH-60 mod, these are now AI controlled and available to be used against targets. A number of the weapons that you're familiar with were integrated into the base mod. However, Armed Blackhawk still provides the ability to change laser codes on Hellfire missiles. You'll notice the yellow triangle in the upper left corner of the screen, and you'll see them annotated in the loadout screen as code changeable at the end of their name. Additionally, the 19-round 8 PKWS rocket pod makes a return with Armed Blackhawk version 7. In the special options page, you'll see that we've enabled the ability to remove the pilot doors and cargo doors for AI models only. These can be removed for player aircraft inside of the game via the ground crew menu with the base mod updates. Inside the aircraft, you'll notice some differences from the prior versions of Armed Blackhawk. The base mod DAP variant now includes a heads-up display, which you can see in front of us. This can be toggled via the invisible switch at the upper portion of the cockpit to have either a HUD display or a grease pencil mark. Additionally, the HUD can be toggled on and off via the visible switch, and brightness can be adjusted using the dial. Additionally, with the grease pencil mark, you are able to move it in the vertical direction to adjust your aim point. On the forward console, you'll see the master arm switch has moved, and that there's now a dial selector to switch between gun, rocket, missiles, and air-to-air stingers. Turning the HUD back on, you can see that we have indicators for master arm being activated, as well as what type of weapons are mounted on each pylon. In this case, air-to-air stinger, M230 cannon, rockets, and Hellfire missiles. You notice that when we use the weapon selector switch, the appropriate weapon systems will become highlighted based upon the switch position. Activating ATAS also provides an audible search tone and an additional aiming sight. We'll cover this in further detail shortly. Rockets can be fired in either single or ripple fire mode. The switch on the right will swap between a single rocket being fired or a continuous ripple. If multiple rocket pods were equipped, the single pair switch on the left would designate whether one pod fires at a time or if the pods fire simultaneously based upon the single ripple function on the right switch. Moving to the center console in the cockpit, you'll notice an updated door gunner's control panel. The left and right switches indicate control priority, that is to say door gunner, AI control, or the pilot. In the center, you have the arming switch, so we'll go ahead and hit the arming switch, and then we'll also need to activate our gunner ROE control panel and have a separate key binding to shift the ROE between hold and fire. Also in the center console, the base mod updates the pylon arming switches. In the center, we have a master arm switch for all pylons, and then individual pylon arming switches. We're now going to changes to ATAS employment following the release of UH-60 version 2. As before, we have an audible search tone. As we acquire the target, that tone will change to a lock tone. If I press the first trigger detent, the dynamic aiming reticle will appear, and then I can fire the missile. As a reminder, next to a laser source is still required for laser-guided munitions, another aircraft, a JTAC, or in this case by mission scripts. Additionally, the HUD aiming reticle is above bore sight on the missile seeker. So you want to aim higher than the target in order to help facilitate a lock-on after launch. Our Blackhawk also adds 3 additional features beyond the base mod: the ability to toggle the air-to-air refueling probe, the ability to jettison weapons, as well as the ability to get an emergency jettison of your flares. You'll find those additional control options in your key bindings. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.